probably carrying around a lot of weight on your ankles, keeping you stuck. Yeah, like a lead weight, you know, like somebody tied a lead weight to you and you can't move. It's like you're tethered to that spot. Well, that weight, that constraint, that restricting thing that you're dragging around with you try to move forward isn't physical at all. It's not. It is made up of your negative thoughts, your limiting beliefs, your old baggage and old worn out stories. And if you want to be able to move forward, if you want to make progress, achieve your goals, step into your best self, you have to get rid of that weight. You just do. You cannot keep dragging it around with you and expect to make forward movement, at least not quickly. So I started thinking about this the other day. I came outside here and you can see this hummingbird feeder behind me. It's got a metal arm that attaches it to the deck, right? It hangs off this metal arm. And on the metal arm, like my other bird feeders on the deck, is a slinky. Yeah, a child's toy, a slinky. And that's because the squirrels will climb onto the feeders and chew them up and destroy them. And so the slinkies actually do a pretty good job of keeping the squirrels away from the feeders. So I'm inside and I look out the window and I see a little finch hanging upside down from the slinky, and I'm wondering what he's doing. And so I see him and he's kind of fluttering and he isn't going anywhere. So I thought something's wrong. So I came out to look and I see that he is indeed stuck on the slinky. And the reason why is because he had a little pine cone. I didn't bring one out here with me, but the redwood trees behind me, they produce these little tiny pine cones. It's kind of bizarre for such a big tree, but it's a little tiny pine cone. And this poor finch had somehow gotten his foot stuck in this pine cone. Little pine cone, his little foot, it's stuck there. And then he went and he landed on the slinky and it got stuck on the slinky and he slid around to the bottom and there he is hanging upside down on the slinky, stuck by this thing. Anyway, so it was a physical thing, right? It was a pine cone that was hooked to his foot. But anyway, I had to pry it apart very carefully because I didn't want to damage his foot. And I got him off the slinky and I laid him down on the railing over here. And he was very calm. It was really an interesting experience. He was very calm and he just lay there and I pried apart the pine cone and he must have been pulling on it because as soon as I got it far enough apart, he just popped his foot out and flew away. Okay, so the signs related to that, all of that, I'm not going to go into that today. What I want to say is that it got me thinking about these things we have tied kind of symbolically to our feet, that like this lead weight or cement block that are keeping us stuck in place. And that actually threaten us all the time because, kind of like, having a cement block tied to your ankle and being dropped in the water, you're going to sink, right, and drown. And eventually that's kind of what happens if we don't do anything about this. So what I want to talk to you about is how to release that weight that's holding you back, how to release the negative thoughts, the unsupportive beliefs, the old stories, all that old baggage that is keeping you stuck and not allowing you to move forward and achieve what you want. Okay, so, and by the way, in terms of signs and the spiritual messages that, something like that would, the little bird, what that means, I talk about that all the time in my Inspired Creator community, and I'll put a link down below to the Inspired Creator community. And we do high performance coaching in there, so we do personal growth and we do spiritual growth. So I do spiritual trainings, inspired results coaching, and I do high performance coaching, so personal and spiritual growth, in order to move people forward, to help them get unstuck and move towards their goals faster. All right, so anyway, I'll put that link down below and I'll put it up above, actually. Okay, so negative thoughts. So we're talking about how do we release this weight that's holding us back, right? So number one, your negative thoughts. You can choose a new thought. Yes, indeed, you can choose a new thought, something different to think about. So these negative thoughts are not helpful. And they're mostly about negative things, things you don't want. You don't want to create them. You are still thinking about things that happened in the past, but they're bad. They make you feel lousy. And you don't have to think about them. You don't. You have choice. You can choose to think about something else. So what I suggest is you make a list of the things you could think about that you do want or that make you feel happy and grateful to think about when those thoughts come up. So you have to develop the consciousness that you're thinking something negative, and then you actually turn your attention to a different thought. So these are like affirmations, right? But I'm not saying say affirmations as much as I am saying choose what you want to think about, and think about something that serves you. Don't think about the negative stuff. Think about something positive that makes you aware of possibility and opportunity, and focuses your attention on what you want, not what you don't want. Okay, number 2 is limiting beliefs. So again, you have choice about what you believe. So choose to believe something that's supportive of you, not unsupportive. You can believe whatever you want. Most of the beliefs you have were probably given to you by someone else. You adopted them. You chose, along the line, to believe them. But now you can choose to believe something else. So what would you like to believe? Make a list of all the things you'd like to believe and believe in those. Okay? Believe in those. So when you find yourself stuck in an old, unsupportive, limiting belief, choose an unlimited belief, full of opportunity for you, full of your dream life. Okay? Okay, number 3, old, unsupportive stories. Okay, your old stories, these are the stories you tell yourself over and over again. Maybe somebody else told it to you. Maybe somebody said you're stupid and you keep telling yourself you're stupid and you keep relating all the times when you were stupid, right? Not helpful. You can literally write a new story, and that's what I suggest you do. If you've been telling yourself for years that you're disorganized, tell yourself you're organized and craft a story. Sit down and write a story about all the times when you have been organized or when you will be organized and how you're organized right now. Okay? And that leads to actually another tip, which is to be that person. So to change your negative thoughts, your limiting beliefs, and your old stories, you actually have to start living as that person. So when you tell yourself something, when you change your negative thought of I'm disorganized to I'm organized, then be organized. When you tell yourself that you believe that you're capable of anything, act as if you're capable of anything. Show up that way. If you keep telling yourself that you are bad at relationships, stop telling yourself that story and relating all the times that you had a bad relationship. Tell yourself that you're good at relationships. Choose that thought, that belief, and then create a story around that for yourself about how great you are in relationships and how everything's changed now. Everything's amazing when it comes to relationships. And tell yourself that story. Read it to yourself. Tell it to yourself repeatedly. You reprogram your brain this way. And lastly, old baggage. Old baggage is about focusing on the past. It keeps you stuck in the past. It's those old stories about the past, but you're bringing all your hurts and your resentments and your anger from the past into the present. And what you need to do is stop focusing on the past and focus forward. Don't look in the rear view mirror, look through the windshield at where you want to go, and leave that baggage by the curb. Leave it in garbage bags by the curb, or go throw it in a dumpster. You can do this with visualization. You can do it literally by getting stuff out of your house and dumping it in a garbage pail somewhere. So look to the future. Be in the present, okay? But stop looking at the past. If you can't just be in the present, then look to the future, but a positive future. Okay, not a future that you're afraid of. You need to again, see possibility and opportunity. Okay? So that's it for today. I'm Nina Amir, the Inspiration to Creation Coach. I help people get from where they are to where they want to go. Drop that weight. I help them live lives that feed their souls. Fill that emptiness with meaning and spirit and purpose. So if that's of interest to you, check out the Inspired Creator Community. If you want to work with me one-on-one as a high performance coach, you can fill out an application at ninaamir.com or click on the second link above that is for high performance coaching. So that's it for today. Until I talk to you next time, go out there and achieve more inspired results.